This portion of the CU podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Smooth sack summer is slowly coming to an end, fellas. If you haven't been scaping for the summer sun, it's not too late to sweep your sack of those pesky pubes. As summer comes to an end and we enter fall, keep your boys clean and fresh just in time for fresh ball fall. The leader in below-the-belt grooming is here to make sure your pubes feel smoother than a beach ball and smell fresher than your girl's pumpkin spice. Start the new season the right way and join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code CUPodcast at manscaped.com.
The Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep your sweet, sweet sack in check. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. Their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multifunction on and off switch that can engage a travel lock, and gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when you need it for a more precise shave. Did I mention this trimmer is waterproof too? Whether you're hopping in the shower or hitting up the lake, this razor will devour even the strongest pubes. Now that your sack is smooth, lather up with Manscaped's liquid formulations to get that fresh ball fall freshness. Use the Crop Preserver ball deodorant to stay cool in the heat. Their soothing aloe vera formula is the best in the business for below-the-waist freshness, and the clear drying formula keeps your sack looking and smelling good. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag that'll bring your comfort to another level at home and on the go. Keep yourself groomed from head to toe with their Shears 2.0, a luxury nail grooming kit. This kit includes stainless steel nail cutters, tweezers, and grooming scissors. With the Performance Package, your balls will be ready to impress, but make sure you cover the rest with the Shears 2.0.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code CUPodcast at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with our code CUPodcast at manscaped.com. Keep things smooth and fresh as we say sayonara to smooth sack summer and enter fresh ball fall. We got voicemails, Ian.
We sure do.
You go to anchor.fm/CUPodcast. You go, you leave us a voicemail, hopefully short, hopefully sweet. I like 20-second ones. You get in, you get out. You're more likely to get on the air, we'll just say, with that. Here's our first. While Ian checks his Twitter.
No, I was closing down the
Uncle
half-price
Pat,
book
Uncle
stuff.
Ian, how's it going, fellas? J-Bo from London here again.
Oh, J-Bo.
It's been a while. Quick question. I asked this a couple years back during COVID. What's going on with the traveling, lads? I want to see you guys out here, man, in Europe. Italy, London, for some brajol, from some mozzarella. Oh, man. Look forward to hearing from you guys and seeing you guys out here, man. When's the traveling happening? All right, boys. Take care. Peace.
I'm sure there's the rare great Italian restaurant in London. I would venture to say it would probably not beat most of what you can find either on the East Coast or in Italy.
I was going to say New York or Italy.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to get out there. I really, really would. I've always wanted to travel overseas. I've never done it. And that would probably be a great time. But a little help from the conventions, kind of necessary. So you tell your local convention organizers that you want to see us out there, and we can figure that out.
Like, tell your local cable station you want the golf chime. Remember those commercials like that?
Uh-huh.
It's like, really, I got to call and beg?
Hey, cable station, I want this.
Okay, it's your boy Lamco64 again from Nottingham, UK.
Is everyone from the UK thinks we're boys? I guess that's part of the appeal. That's why I like these folks.
We're all friends.
Listened for a couple of minutes more and heard Pat say that the Fantastic Four movie Roger Corman version that they did to keep the rights was really good. Oh. Now I'd like Ian to watch that and give his opinion on that.
Okay. I didn't think I said it was really good. I said it's good for what it was. The fact that they had no budget and they put it together quickly.
Yeah, I don't think you necessarily said
it's not like an A+ movie, but it's interesting for what it is. Right. And they put some heart into it for such a low budget. Like the costumes are actually really good in that movie, for example. And the plot is close to the comics origin for both Doom and for the Fantastic Four. So I'm like, okay, on paper, this would have been if this was a $100 million movie, it would have been great. It was a $1 million movie, though. $1 million can go a long way, I guess, back in the mid-90s, but with inflation and everything. But yeah, Ian has to watch it.
Hey, Pat. And Ian, this is John from Cleveland, Ohio. You're talking about that Comic-Con Rico, like playing in front of 700,000 people, being like one of the largest concerts. Actually, Metallica, I believe, played in front of like 1 million plus people in like Moscow, Russia. They got like videos of it and all that stuff. It's pretty insane. Like show. Talk to you guys later.
Oh, I mean, I don't discount that's probably true. I was just thinking about it just logically. Why would Video Games Live, which is not really known by a lot of people, ever get more than like a famous band like Metallica that's beloved and been around for decades? Like, just on its surface, it doesn't pass the smell test.
No, not at all.
It doesn't.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. This is Connor from Saginaw, Michigan. My question is for Ian. Ian, from one former game store manager to another, what is one thing that you miss about working at a game store and one thing that you completely do not miss at all? Mine would have to be seeing some of the really cool trades come in. And my least favorite thing, ironically, would also be some of the hot garbage shit trades we get in. Thanks, guys.
No, I mean, that's honestly what I would say. Like, I had a lot of great regulars that I enjoyed seeing. They just, no offense to them, they didn't make a lot of the bullshit, worthwhile after a while. But similar to you, my favorite thing was some of the cool trade-ins we would get. But in general, I hated fucking doing trade-ins. I hated it. And pandemic time made that a lot worse. It was honestly one of the things that made me at first seriously consider and then leave my job was, and I talked about that in that big segment we did after I left, that every interaction just during the pandemic and right after when things opened up again. Instead of interactions starting at like a 1 or a 2 on the tenseness scale, they would start at a fucking 8 every single time. Yeah. Even if the person was nice, everything started at an 8. And what was happening, partially what was the problem was these people wanted the money, and that's understandable. And they saw the prices going up, so they wanted money. But overall, people were it got more people to clean out their closets. And what you ended up seeing was the most common junk over and over and over again. It wasn't people, bringing in their interesting bits, because that's probably what they want to get rid of less. It was people being like, well, we've got this. And then, that's how you end up with fucking 50 copies of Golf on the NES or, 40 copies of Silent Service. I've always said that you don't want to turn stuff away when you're doing trade-ins. It's not a great idea because you want those people to bring it back. And if you want them to tell friends about the place, you want them to come back if they have better stuff. And if you don't take certain things, they probably realize it as being more of a hassle than it's worth. However, there does come a time where you've got to be like, man, I don't need another bases loaded 2.
Unless you just say, I'll give you like 20 cents for it, I guess you can do that.
We do, but it gets to be a problem with space and stock. Like, you start running out of space. You can only have so many shelves in the back. And I'm telling you, when literally something like Gyromite or Golf is taking up 3 stacks on a shelf, that's space you need.
I guess you can't do like bundle giveaways where it's like, oh, buy 10 NES games for $15.
There were things I always wanted to do with that, but we never got there. I would have taken,
bags.
I would have just taken, I would have done grab bags. I would have done like comic book style grab bags.
Yes, that's what that would make sense. And people be like, oh, I'm getting into this game for like $2 each, even though some common ones, it's still fun, some of those games. Right. Bases Loaded is a good game. There's a reason why there's so many copies, because they were good. Most of them. I mean, Silent Service is good. You just gotta learn to play it. People think it's like playing an action game.
Hello, this is Gregory calling in from Vancouver, Canada, and I have a question for Ian. I just received my Playdate in the mail, and I've been playing my way through the first season. I'm on week 2 currently, and I'm quite enjoying it. I've also downloaded a whole bunch of games off of itch, and I've been messing around with them. I'm curious, are you still playing your Playdate? Also, if you know anybody who happens to have the copy of Tetris that somebody made that got taken down by Ubisoft, I'd love to get my hands on it. Thank you very much for taking my question.
I'm sure that's probably around somewhere. You can probably find it.
So... yes, I am still playing my Playdate. I like it a ton. I'm trying to get the exact names of some of these games, though, for you. Let's see.
What's that Flower Shop one?
That's Bloom, which I haven't had a chance to play yet. So I still play Whitewater Wipeout all the time. It's the first, and I'm not saying that because I'm friends with the people at Chew High. First game on the system, exactly what I wanted to see on the system. I freaking love that game. I love trying to get better at it. Lost Your Marbles by Sweet Baby Incorporated is one that I still play. That's really fun. Pick Pack Pup was a really good puzzle game. Echoic Memory was interesting. Omaze was, I mean, they were all pretty interesting. There are a couple, though, that I haven't. Zipper by Bennett Foddy is amazing. I love that one.
Zipper?
Zipper.
What type of game is
that? It's like a samurai strategy game. It's so, but it's turn-based, and it's
okay.
You're one Sam. It's fucking great. It's
when I finally get my play date, while I'm still alive, I'd love to play that.
And then Saturday Edition is like a point and click that I started playing but didn't finish. And Battleship Gaudios was really good. I have not really played Ratcheteer. It's like a space shooter, but you have one bouncing ball that you shoot. It's really neat.
That sounds clever. The samurai one sounds interesting.
So, anyways, it's a great system. I would say that I'd say 80% of the games. I'd say 90% of the games are interesting, and 80% of them are worth like revisiting many times, more than just something you play once or twice.
Sure.
Hey, Pat from New Jersey, yeah. We got like Puck Roll. What else we got? Battle of Trenton, yeah, man. When you look over in New York, you stole Sinatra, you a-holes, you stole him. Anyway, what are your thoughts on driving Miss Daisy back?
That was Toy, by the way.
That was Toy. Bye, Toy.
I heard Battle of Trenton in there. Going back to the
I have never watched Driving Miss Daisy, and I don't think I ever will.
I guess Toy was doing an impression of the other guy, the Apocalypse Now thing. It was an impression of that, then throwing in Jersey stuff. I think that's what that was supposed to be. Correct me if I'm wrong, Toy. I'm sure you'll be in the comments, but I think that's what you're going for there.
Hey, Pat and Ian, this is Gizmo Hibiki from California. Recently, I've been going back to my old DS games I've bought in the past when the DS was...
That's their Discord, not mine, by the way.
Okay.
I'm like, why Discord up is theirs?
As well as, collecting more recent ones, such as 3DS Library. And I've been wondering, with how well the DS games have been selling and been made, such as Elite Beat Agents, do you think there are some of these DS games, whether it be the first ones or the 3DS line, that would have worked if they were, say, ported to the mobile instead, or at least had a version of it on mobile? Thank you for listening.
I think there's a lot of games that are on the DS that, yes, could have worked on mobile.
I'm so distracted by the Discord.
Yeah, I was too. The Discord noises
were like 30 Discord things. There was like 3 in a row at one point. Yeah, close your windows on Discord.
It was an assault on my Sorry.
Okay, so some DS games could work on mobile?
Yes, I'm sure they could.
Elite Beat Agents or whatever. Okay. Do a few more here.
Hello, Pat and Ian. My name is Jake and I'm from England, aka Land of the Broken Teeth. I've been a fan of the podcast for a few years now. I've been watching Pat's content for the past few years as well. However, just to ask a question, this is about the state of retro gaming. How do you all feel about younger people getting into retro gaming? And I mean teenagers and like young adults in their 20s and such, who wouldn't have really grown up with the NES, but they're starting to get interested in it.
That's great. I don't gatekeep that stuff. Otherwise, it dies out.
I think it's great. There's a particular fucking shithead that we don't like who recently went on a fucking man baby cry storm on Twitter about young people not knowing anything about the games and this, that, and the next thing, and they weren't there. And that little shit baby who shits his pants all the time and cries a lot, is a fucking asshole gatekeeper.
Okay, I didn't really track that, but okay. So here's the thing. If people don't play them, we don't live forever. Right?
Yeah.
So imagine if people didn't watch movies, for example, or listen to music before their time. Like, then the people that grew up with the Beatles, they're going to be dead in like 20 years. There won't be anyone left.
Right.
You know what I mean? 30 years. So like that's the point. Like this is like so stupid to have to explain this to people.
Right.
Like you need people to continue it on.
Yes. Exactly.
That's just how it works with entertainment.
When you don't find those people, the hobby dies out.
I don't care how they play the stuff as long as they play it, and don't gatekeep how you consume the media either, because that you put those barriers in place as well. I don't want ever live with, well, you can't play Mappy Land unless you have an original NES cartridge 30 years on. No, you can play Mappy
Fucking
Land.
throw your ROM on your 16:9 TV and stretch it. I don't give a shit. I don't want to look at it. But if that's how you have to play these old games, then play them.
If that's the only way for that little mouse to live on and make sure when Ian's gone, he knows that mouse is being not forgotten, then it's going to happen, damn it.
That's right.
And I do a couple more here.
Hey guys, Quickman here from the UK. Two questions. One, Evo 2022 just happened, and we saw the announcement of a new Fatal Fury game for the first time in about 20 years.
Oh.
So if you could pick one fighting game franchise to make a sequel for that hasn't really had anything in years and years and years, what would it be? And second question, what musicians or bands or artists did you get into thanks to rhythm games? Because as someone who was born in the late 90s, games like Dance Dance Revolution, Guitar Hero, Rock Band, as well as stuff like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, that actually influenced my musical taste quite a lot. Keep up the good work, and see you later.
Okay, you want to do that first? With
What was the first question?
First question was, I lost the second one. The first one was, what sequel for a fighting game franchise
easy.
has been around?
Darkstalkers. Absolutely. I would love a Darkstalkers sequel. They haven't done anything with that franchise since the late 90s, and I fucking love it. So I would love to see that. Prior to this, I would have said Garo, but we're getting a new Fatal Fury. So that's taken care of. And then as far as music, no, not really. Growing up, it was actually really fun for me. It was the opposite way. It was fun to see bands and artists that I listened to show up on these things. I was not really being especially in my teenage years. Like I was really into music and keeping up on like everything and listening to everything I could. So this isn't meant to sound like, I was hipper than thou, but it was neat for me really to just see the bands that I liked end up on things like the Tony Hawk soundtrack, or to see, electronic artists, get a feature on a DDR game or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay, so what was okay, fighting games. I have two, and one's an easy answer, one's not. I think because it was so unique and interesting, especially in how the graphics was, the gameplay sucked. But I think Clay Fighter, there's something there. If the mechanics were good, I think that would be nice to see that again with the same, clay digitized, graphics. I think there's something there. I don't think it would find an audience nowadays, but I think it would be interesting because you play that game just for the characters, and then it's my favorite. You want to say, I don't want to say it's even, you can't call it a guilty pleasure because there's no way to really play it that often. And most arcades don't have it. It's not like you go to PRG, you're going to see it. Time Killers. It's my favorite, just schlocky ass, over the top game.
I have a board for it.
Do you? Oh my God. Do you really?
Yeah.
That's a JAMA board?
Yeah.
Okay.
It needs another, I got to get another like 3-wire harness to hook it up properly for the way the buttons are. But yeah, I have the board and it works.
Oh, okay. Time Killers is interesting. I like the graphic style because it's sort of like kind of hand drawn and just sort of like, I don't know. It's almost like your high school friend trying to draw a comic book. That's like sort of the graphic style. Does that make sense? It's like a little simple, but it's like gory. There's the moves you can cut off the limbs and try to fight with just your feet or just your head. I'm like, no other game did that, and plus it's all different time periods. I like it. It's on the Genesis, but I don't know if the Genesis one's any good.
I enjoy the game, but there is really what it comes down to, and it's a broken game. You hit all the buttons to charge
swing
up and launch your head lopping attack.
Yes,
everyone can
around.
do it.
Yeah.
And what really ends up happening is you end up just trying to position yourself, and everyone just goes for the head lopping attack, which ends the match.
Yeah, I never knew how to do the thing the computers that can chop off all your limbs and your head when you're dizzy. I don't know how to do that. But yeah, if you hit all your 4 attack buttons, because it was
5.
legs and your head,
two legs, 2 arms, and your
if
head.
you hit all 5, you would just swing around and go for the head. It didn't always cut your head off, but it was more likely to.
As long as it doesn't get blocked, it does it. it takes the head right off.
I thought sometimes it doesn't when I played Red
Which
Dead.
is, I mean, like I said, though, it's fun to throw in and fuck around with, especially with people who have never played it. But like Lincoln and I used to get together and play the Genesis version all the time. And while it's still fun to do once in a while, it just becomes a one-move game.
It's almost like you got to say, can't use it.
Right.
You know, or what ruins the game. Let me see. I'm going to look at some Genesis gameplay right now to see if it looks comparable to the arcade.
It's not as nice looking, but honestly, it's all right.
And unfortunately, that's sort of the curse of the Genesis. It was like some of the earlier games, like the Golden Axe, looked like the arcade but once you got to the mid '90s, they didn't look like the arcade anymore. The Genesis couldn't do a lot of that stuff, while the Super Nintendo could. Yeah, it's toned down from the arcade, but yeah, that's the ones we like.
All right, let's do one more.
Ian's suggesting one more. I was ready to tap out. We're gonna do one more.
All right, one more.
Hey Pat, hey Ian, what's up? This is Josh again with another question.
Josh.
So I was recently looking for a house over the weekend, and I didn't really like the house. It was kind of overpriced. But I was looking at the backyard, and in their trash, I saw a Super Nintendo box, and it's in really great shape. And I just said, you know what? I'm taking this if it's in their trash. Have you guys ever found anything cool, video game related, in the trash or in the garbage? Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right, Josh, you committed a crime technically, because if it's on the street, it's public, but not on their property in their backyard. You technically committed petty theft of the box. I'm not saying you should go to jail for it, Josh, but you can't just rifle through people's garbage and take shit when it's in their backyard.
And what was the question? Was it, have we ever picked anything?
Yes, have we ever picked it? I don't think so. I've heard stories of this all the time where, I found something. I've never...
Actually, no, that's a lie.
Why for me?
Vonnie and I went and picked a IKEA cabinet that was perfect. Our friend called us, and it was behind the brewery that she worked at.
I thought he meant video game stuff.
I mean, yeah, video game stuff, nothing. But
I've
I
got
was
stuff
just
in the trash before.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
I've done very little of that.
I got like a storage desk someone threw up at the dumpster one time. You know, like a storage cabinet thing. You know, I think I never used it. I know I used it back at the condo. I think I did use it, but no, I found stuff. Oh yeah, absolutely. Nice chair. I mean, that's how if you're young, single, you're moving somewhere, you go junking, or people tossing stuff out. Absolutely. My first basketball was junking.
Nice.
People throwing stuff. But yeah, you committed a crime there, Josh. Just to let you know, you shouldn't be publicizing that.